Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Mint Markets. Today, again, a little bit delayed after ICT's personal live stream. And I will start with my analysis first. So obviously we will have no news today. We had 8:30 unemployment claims prior. Tomorrow there will be some FOMC members speaking, and I will outline what we already have, what we had today, and I will see if I can get something in the lunch session. See if we can find some trade in the lunch session today. We are touching now the opening range gap here. Let me mute myself. We are touching now the opening range gap here. Let me mute myself here. And all right. Now it should work. And let's see, I will start with the S&P first. Let's see what with the Nasdaq first. Let's start with the S&P. And let's see what we get here. If we can outline the trade or a setup. So here we have the midpoint approximately, and here we have the first quarter. So we traded back into the first quarter, but failed to go any lower. We have traded higher so far, and now we rejected lower off the high here. The fair value gap here is our first presentation fair value gap here at 931. I'm drawing that out in time here. And we have taken out buy side liquidity here. And we are back in the 50% of the range. Let me actually check something. I think oh man, the screen is still cut off. All right, gotta fix that next time. Will be a short one anyways. And so we have traded to the midpoint. Now we have a short market structure shift here. And also I want to outline the 8:30 opening price. Which is here. As a premium discount array here. And I also want to outline the New York midnight opening price, which is significantly lower today. Which is right there. So we are in a big premium relative to the midnight opening price, and we are right at the 8:30 opening price. So we are basically flat here. And what I also need to do real quick is I need to correct the title here. So we are back to the first presentation here. And let's see what kind of setup we could potentially frame. The long-term bias is bullish, alright, but we have already made a new all-time high with the S&P today. So let's see if we continue here. So far we had a little bit of a rejection into the midpoint here. Again, first presentation, fair value gap here. And so far we have rejected that. We have taken buy side liquidity out here. And the higher time frame bias is bullish today. What else do I want to outline is the opening range gap here. So it's 8:30's lowest low here, and between 8:30 and 10 o'clock. That's 9:30. So it's basically that one. Opening range high, opening range low. We have taken out opening range as high, and we are in the midpoint right now. We have taken out the high here and rejected the first presented fair value gap here. And let's see if we can go a little bit lower and draw into this big opening range gap. Let's measure that actually here. That's 40. That's almost a 88 handles in the S&P. That's a lot. So far we are going lower. We have a market structure shift here. And we have the first presented here as an inversion fair value gap here. So we can see that that was a sell area, and the bias could be the midpoint. Drawn liquidity could be the midpoint of this opening range gap. So let's see if we can get any short here. However, I think the long-term bias is still bullish, so we gotta be very careful here. But I think we could draw lower into this market maker sell model here. So we'll see if any setup present itself. So far, let me open the NASDAQ parallel here, just as a, and I will try to keep it to the left because I know not the full screen is displayed here, but now you should be able to see it. checking if it's worth taking any short here. I think I will risk it with one contract, and we will see if it's any good today. And I will target the fair value gap here at the lower end, and the stop loss will be above here. And do not take this trade with real money. It's today. I'm trading in in a demo trade here, and probably going to be stopped out here. Anyways. All right. So I'm actually stopped out here, and yeah, small little loss. Nothing to worry about. However, market a little bit tricky right now. Not the perfect conditions. Wanted to try something here, but got immediately punished. And we touched again this first presentation fair value gap here. Let me remove all the annotations here, they're just distracting. Probably just stopped me out to go lower. Just stopped me out to touch the inversion fair value gap again. However, not ideal here. Didn't regard the fair value gap here, so not really strong here. Let me focus on the S&P. Again. So we have made an all-time high here. Came back here. Took the rejection block here. And I think we could go lower from here. I'd like to see it go lower from here. And what I also want to have is the new day opening gap here, which is here. We already have that. Okay, that's today's new day opening gap. All right. We have some time distortion here. So I preferably want to short here. We are in a premium, so I'd prefer to short here today in this session would be ideal, even though the higher time frame is bullish. Let's see. So far we are in the middle of the range, so it's hard to determine a setup for me. %50 level of the range. Took some sell side liquidity and looks like we are going higher. Traded above the inversion fair value gap, breaker here. Let me see if any long setup forms here. Inversion fair value gap here. Check out the NQ rallying as well. Alright, I will try another long here. And stop will be below here. And we'll target the high here. If it closed below here, I don't want to hold the trade anymore. So it should find some support here and show some willingness to go higher, in my opinion. I want to see speed up here, confirming this as a bullish order block. I don't want to hang it around here, go lower from here. That's not what I want to see. And it needs to find wings here if it's good. It needs to make a higher high and stay above here, in my opinion. So far, so good. Since it made this higher high here, I'm going to move the stop to here. Should not come back down here. We have another fair value gap here, so we need to keep that in mind. That's a fair value gap we need to consider. Alright, so the stop loss is very tight now. Don't want to see it come back in there. Should stay strong here. Took out minor buy side liquidity here, and I want to see it stay strong and go even higher from that fair value gap here. That's a target, and then eventually higher, taking out this high here if it can do so. Once it takes out the high again, I'll put the stop to +1 tick. I will actually do it right now. We have already taken out the high, and it should ideally stay strong here. That's risk and trade management from my part, a little bit aggressive, but it's okay. I only want to hold on to this trade if it's in fact showing a willingness to confirm my expectation. This is not so good. That's not what I want to see. We'll give it some more time to breathe here. This is not so good. Probably taking my stop here if it goes lower. And I want this down close candle being support here and not be traded through. And so far looks okay. That's what I want to see. I want to see it trade higher here. And we are now at the fair value gap. And I will put the trade higher into profit now. So we have traded into the fair value gap here, into the high of the opening range, and so I'm banking some profit here. I'm not interested in price to come back down and have a major retracement. I want to see it stay strong here and drive up higher. Actually, 280. We have almost I wish I had a second contract on here, then I could be taking some partials. Let's see if it can maintain strength here and continuously drive higher, or if it comes all the way back and stops me out. Stop is below the midpoint of this wick here, so it should be support if the trade is good. And so far my stop is not hit yet. Let's see if my stop placement is not too aggressive here. Might be a little bit too aggressive, but that's okay. Ideally it trades through here energetically and confirms this down close candle supports it here. That would be ideal. Small little inversion fair value gap here. So that provided support here. And again, if I had two contracts on, I would have taken off one here now. That's not so good of a reaction. And I'm stopped here in profit. That's okay. So made a little bit back of the initial loss. But I don't like the reaction here too much. It's a little bit not so clean here. My stop was tight, but I don't like that we just closed below here and came back into this inversion fair value gap here. So it might want to retrace a little bit lower from here. And that's okay. But I'm out here. Was a nice little trade. Bought here. This inversion fair value gap of the first presentation showed some reaction here. Five handles here, came a little bit deep here, retraced. We have an order block here, so it's actually fine. But my stop is just aggressive, was just aggressive here. So let's see if it can maintain ground here and go higher from here. I did my little scalp here for 5 handles, and that's okay. Also, we are entering into the 11:30 hour, which starts the lunch hour and the lunch macro, going for retracements for everybody who is profitable so far. So whatever side, first we got traders tripped long, took out the longs, then went higher, took out, retraced on the longs, and now we are pressing higher again. So we have minor sell side liquidity here, and we have minor buy side liquidity here, and I think gun to my head, I don't know, to be honest. I don't have a clear target for the lunch macro, and that's okay. That is okay for now. Probably waiting for more information. We have liquidity here and here. Maybe it wants to go lower and take out some sell side liquidity with the lunch session here. With the lunch macro starting at 130 here. Let's see if there is anything I can outline or see trade-wise. Actually, there is nothing at the very moment. I'm seeing as a trade. Here stops have been taken. We have relatively equal lows here. And here we have buy side and we're in the middle of the range. We went to the midpoint, trade a little bit higher. Looks like we failed here, fair value gap. The top of the opening gap range here. So at the moment it looks weak again. Let's see if it can come back and find some ground here again. From a premium discount stance here, I'd prefer to be short here because we're in a huge premium. We went up a lot recently. And we pierced the all-time high today. Probably now in a waiting condition and going higher later. I will use this time if you're watching. I'm trying to do this market analysis and the trade examples daily, usually from 10 to 11 a.m. New York time. Just didn't do it these days due to some other live stream of ICT. And if you like what I'm doing, I would be honored if you are willing to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And see you on a regular basis. So far, price is finding support here at this first presented inversion fair value gap. Let's see. Let me check how many handles that are going lower. 9 actually. That's crazy. Another 10 handles. So either we find support here and make another attempt to go higher. We had a market structure shift here. First presented fair value gap, inversion fair value gap. We have another 1 minute fair value gap here as well. So that might lend some support here as well. So far, midpoint is respected. So far, it looks like it wants to go higher. If it completely fails, we can expect it to go lower. Maybe come back up here and then go even further. So that's the two options I'm kind of outweighing at the moment. It'll be interesting to see which unfolds first. I'd prefer the sell side, the buy side. So gun to my head, I think it's more likely that we will go higher from here. As long as we support this red area here is support, lends support to prices, and we not go through it and retrace back to it. I would like to see it go higher from here. Since we are bullish on a higher time frame and we have liquidity here, we had a 50% retracement, market structure shift, traded through it, came back into a fair value gap. So higher prices is what I want to see, gun to my head. And I think we have the chance that even though we had such a big run up already and we made the all-time high here, I think we could still continue higher. So far price action has been bullish primarily. Retracement here, could not, of this opening range gap here, we could not even, we made it to the first quarter and then went higher. We could not even make it to the midpoint. So that's a sign that price is strong. That's a sign that bullish prices, higher prices are more favorable. Inversion fair value gap here, support and higher. And we have 11:40, so we are in the lunch macro time window, which is actually looking for liquidity and is designed to hunt for stops. Whatever the prior direction was primarily, it's designed to go against them. But it's hard to say what the primary direction was here, in my opinion, because we had a fake breakout, run lower on stops, another breakout, retracement. So actually probably the long side. So people are more profitable on the long side. They are more profitable longs right now than shorts, in my opinion. Even though shorts have not been screwed yet. People who shorted here still have their stops above here. Maybe now they trailed it to here, expecting it to go lower, but I think they will be punished. 4 handles, 5 handles up to here. I think we will see this high being taken pretty soon. I'm tired today. I'm really tired. Man, it was exhausting so far for me. And I want to see it take out this high here, and then another attempt to go higher to take out this high here, ideally. As long as we do not take out this low here, close below this red area here. As long as we don't close here, I'm expecting higher prices. And I'm thinking if there's anything for me I'd like to engage on. Currently, not really. Inversion fair value gap here, but nothing really that excites me to take a trade. So liquidity is here. Let's use my little flag here. That is buy side liquidity in my opinion here. And that's where I'm aiming for, basically. So let's remove that, since I'm focusing still more on the buy side here. Unless we do not close below this low here. And traded in this little inversion fair value gap here so far. The bodies have not closed below it, so we find support so far. And we should find support in this area going higher, challenging this high here. We have a macro window in 7 minutes, so we should see some more speed, some more action in about 6 minutes. I will wait for this macro window, and if it does move, I will close the streaming session, I believe. I don't want to see it close below here. If it closes below here, trades through it, I'm abandoning my bias totally. And I'm also not seeing a trade setup right now, so nothing I'm willing to risk a trade here at the very moment. Let me check actually the Nasdaq for cross analysis here. Nasdaq also not able to make a higher high here, also range bound here. And so far we are still in this range here, around at the 50% level. %50 level here. So that's okay. So far we have some time distortion here. Still. And we will have 4 more minutes to see if it wants in fact to run higher, which is what I believe. Candles have closed here just in this fair value gap here, and let's see if we take out this high here. First target here. We will tape read it so far. Not willing to take a trade here, I believe. Another inversion fair value gap here. So we have 3 more minutes until the full hour macro from 11:50 to 12:10, and we will see if we can find some speed here going higher. That's what I'm expecting, gun to my head, without be willing to risk a trade here at the very moment. Grinding slowly up, very efficient here, not a lot of gaps, slowly but steady grinding up. Just gotta wait a little bit longer. If you're watching, let me know. You can text me in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're studying ICT as well. And like the video if you do the things I'm doing, and subscribe to the channel. Would be cool to see you on a regular basis outlining the market and taking trades in front of you live here on YouTube. So now we have, what's the high here? High is 5779.75, and the high here 5779.75. Okay, so we have just equaled that high here, not really taken it out yet, but at least we have equaled it here. I think we should make another run higher here and take it out, not just equal it here. That's what I want to see, and I want to see it stay strong and continuously attack the buy side here. Same on NQ, pretty much. NQ pretty much equal highs as well. Nothing we can learn from that one though at the very moment. So we are in the macro window now. We have 1150, so price should be spooling now to liquidities or inefficiency. Liquidity is above here on the buy side, on the sell side with liquidity down here. Inefficiency, we have a small inefficiency left here, and sell side liquidity further here and here. But I'd like to see buy side, but this rejection here right at the high is not what I prefer to see. It's not what makes me very confident that we will uh, continuously drive up here. It's not ideal, these equal highs here. It might do it here and then take it at a later place, but I would have preferred if it just stays strong here and drives right up higher. And we are back again in this inversion fair value gap here. Let's see if we first here the body's respected it. Let's see if we can respect it again or if we go through it. Looks like we're going through it. And that's not what I want to see for higher prices. That's also the reason why I'm not in a trade here. And again, as I said here, sell side liquidity here minor and small inefficiency we have here. We have taken out sell side liquidity and touched the inefficiency here. Looks like we're trading through. And the Nasdaq probably a similar thing. Yeah, have made equal highs here and going lower so far. The equal highs here, we can revisit that later. At some point, so it's an area we should keep in mind, and we could probably see traded to at a later point in time. So buy side liquidity is above here still, and might just go down there, take sell side and come back at a later point in time after upsetting sell side liquidity. Next sell side liquidity is below here, minus sell side liquidity is here, and then further down here we have basically taken out this sell side liquidity here as well. And I think I will close the stream. There's no setup I'm seeing right now. There's nothing I'm really interested in trading at the very moment, and I think I will close the stream in about 5 minutes. And if I trade anything in a PM session, I will do a recording. And I'm actually tired today. Actually tired. All right. Anything? Let me see. Anything I can see worth mentioning? Not really, to be honest. Not really. There is nothing I'm very interested in. Oh, actually, that's the NQ here. I thought I'm looking at the S&P, but it was actually the same chart. All right, that's hilarious. That explains why the levels were absolutely equal. That explains it. So we failed to make a higher high here as well, but we were actually able to make another run higher here, which, while we failed here in the S&P. Let me actually switch to the Nasdaq full chart. I'd be interested to see, all right, far away from the first presentation, balanced price range here. Right, but nothing for me to trade off at the very moment. All right, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I will close the stream now. If you like what I'm doing, this live outlining what the market is going to do, what I think about the market, and taking trades live in front of you. If you see some, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I am doing this usually every Monday to Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. New York time. Tomorrow probably I will do a later stream as well. However, I'll be back most likely tomorrow. And wherever you are in the world, I wish you all the best. Have a nice rest of the day and see you next time.